Somewhere in the freezing depths of the Arctic Ocean right now, there's a shark swimming so slowly you could outrun it on foot. It was already alive before George Washington was born. Before the United States existed. Before most of the buildings you've ever seen were constructed. And believe it or not, it's not even the oldest animal on this list. In this video, we're diving into the 10 oldest animals ever discovered on planet Earth. Creatures that have survived ice ages, asteroid impacts, and 5 separate mass extinction events that wiped out the vast majority of life on this planet. Some of these animals are technically immortal. One of them might be older than human civilization itself. Make sure you stay until the end, because number 1 will completely change how you think about time. Let's get started. Number 10. Immortal jellyfish. Let's start with one of the strangest creatures in the entire animal kingdom. The immortal jellyfish is barely the size of your pinky fingernail, about 4.5 millimeters wide. At first glance, it looks completely unremarkable. But hidden inside its biology is something scientists are still struggling to fully understand. When this jellyfish becomes injured, sick, starved, or simply old, instead of dying like every other animal on Earth, it does something extraordinary. It triggers a process called transdifferentiation. Its specialized adult cells literally transform back into earlier, more primitive cell types. The jellyfish physically reverts back into its juvenile polyp stage, essentially becoming a baby again, and starts its entire life cycle over from scratch. Theoretically, this cycle can repeat infinitely. As long as the jellyfish avoids being eaten or killed by external causes, it could continue this rebirth process forever, making it the only known biologically immortal animal on the planet. Scientists first discovered this ability in the 1990s, and research labs around the world are now studying its genetics, hoping to unlock secrets about aging and cellular regeneration that could one day apply to human medicine. Number 9. Horseshoe crab. Despite its name, the horseshoe crab isn't actually a crab at all genetically. It's far more closely related to spiders, ticks, and scorpions. And it has one of the most impressive survival records in the history of life on Earth. Horseshoe crabs first appeared in the fossil record around 450 million years ago. To put that into perspective, that's nearly 200 million years before the first dinosaurs ever walked the planet. They've survived the Permian extinction. The most catastrophic extinction event in Earth's history, which wiped out roughly 96% of all marine species, and they're still here, virtually unchanged, crawling along the same beaches their ancestors did almost 500 million years ago. Their hard, helmet-shaped shell, antennae spread across their body, and spiked tail have earned them the nickname living fossils. But here's the part that really impacts modern life. Horseshoe crab blood is bright blue, due to copper-based proteins instead of iron-based ones like ours. This blood contains a substance called limulus amoebicide lysate, which is so incredibly sensitive to bacterial contamination that pharmaceutical companies use it to test the safety of nearly every vaccine, for drip, and medical implant produced today. Every single person who has ever received a vaccine has likely benefited from this ancient creature's blood. Number 8. Coelacanth. For nearly 70 years, scientists were completely certain about one thing: the coelacanth was extinct. Fossil records showed this fish thriving for millions of years before vanishing abruptly around 66 million years ago, the exact same moment the dinosaurs went extinct. It was filed away in textbooks as a prehistoric relic, gone forever. Then, in December 1938, everything changed. A South African museum curator named Marjorie Courtney Latimer was inspecting the catch of a local fishing trawler when she noticed an unusual, bluish fish with strange lobed fins unlike anything she'd ever seen. It was a living coelacanth, a fish that was supposed to have died out alongside the dinosaurs, somehow still swimming in the deep waters off the coast of South Africa. This discovery is considered one of the most significant zoological finds of the 20th century. Coelacanth can grow up to 2 meters long, live in deep ocean caves at depths of up to 700 meters, and have barely changed in appearance for tens of millions of years. Their fins move in a unique, alternating pattern similar to how four-legged land animals walk, leading scientists to believe they may be distant relatives of the very first creatures that crawled out of the ocean onto land. Number 7. Crocodile. 66 million years ago, an asteroid roughly 10 kilometers wide slammed into the Earth near modern-day Mexico, triggering a global catastrophe that wiped out approximately 75% of all species on the planet, including every non-avian dinosaur. And yet, somehow, crocodiles made it through. Crocodilians have existed in some form for over 200 million years, but the ancestors that survived the extinction event already had the same evolutionary advantages crocodiles use today. Armored, bony skin called osteoderms, an incredibly slow metabolism that allows them to survive for months without eating, and the ability to slow their heart rate dramatically while staying submerged for extended periods. While massive, fast-metabolizing dinosaurs starved in the post-impact darkness and dust clouds, crocodiles simply slowed down and waited it out. Modern crocodiles also possess one of the most powerful bite forces of any living animal, exceeding 3,700 pounds per square inch in some species, more than enough to crush bone instantly. They've barely needed to evolve because their original design was already nearly perfect for survival. Number 6. Giant isopod and deep-sea crustaceans. Far below the reach of sunlight, in the crushing pressure of the deep ocean, lives a creature that looks like it crawled straight out of a science fiction film, the giant isopod. These are distant relatives of the small woodlice you might find under a rock in your backyard, but thanks to a phenomenon called deep-sea gigantism, they can grow to the size of a house cat. Their evolutionary lineage stretches back hundreds of millions of years, and their body plan, a segmented exoskeleton, multiple pairs of legs, and the ability to roll into a defensive ball, has remained remarkably consistent throughout that entire time. In the stable, dark, food-scarce environment of the deep ocean, there's been little evolutionary pressure to change. Some giant isopods can survive without eating for over 5 years, slowing their metabolism to an almost dormant state until food becomes available. Number 5. Giant tortoise. Giant tortoises are famous for one extraordinary trait above all: jaw-dropping individual lifespans. The most famous example is Jonathan, a Seychelles giant tortoise currently living on the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic Ocean. Jonathan is verified to be at least 191 years old, making him the oldest known living land animal on Earth. He was already alive before the invention of the telephone, before the American Civil War, and before photography even existed. As a species, giant tortoises have roamed the Earth for millions of years. Their slow metabolism, protective shell, and minimal predator threats as adults all contribute to their incredible longevity. Their growth is also famously slow and steady, with some individuals continuing to grow gradually for over a century. Scientists studying tortoise biology have found that their cells show very few signs of age-related decline even after 100 years, making them a key subject in modern longevity research. Number 4. Sturgeon. Sturgeon have remained largely unchanged since they first appeared over 200 million years ago, swimming in rivers and oceans alongside early dinosaurs. Unlike most modern fish, sturgeon don't have scales. Instead, their bodies are covered in rows of hard, bony plates called scuts, a primitive feature that links them directly back to their ancient ancestors. Individual sturgeon can live well over 100 years, and some species, like the beluga sturgeon, can grow to enormous sizes exceeding 5 meters in length and weighing over 1,000 kilograms. Female sturgeon are also the source of one of the most expensive foods on Earth, caviar, though overfishing driven by this demand has unfortunately pushed several sturgeon species to the brink of extinction, despite their having survived nearly every natural catastrophe in Earth's history. Number 3. Red sea urchin. This spiky, unassuming creature is one of the strangest case studies in the entire field of biology. Red sea urchins display what scientists call negligible senescence, meaning they show almost no measurable signs of aging over time. A 100-year-old red sea urchin has roughly the same reproductive ability, mobility, and tissue regeneration capacity as a 10-year-old one. Researchers have documented individual red sea urchins living well over 200 years, and some estimates suggest certain individuals could potentially live for centuries longer under the right conditions. Scientists studying their unique stem cell activity and antioxidant defenses believe red sea urchins could hold valuable clues for understanding and possibly slowing down the human aging process. Number 2. Greenland shark. Deep in the icy waters of the Arctic and North Atlantic Oceans lives one of the slowest growing, longest living vertebrates ever recorded, the Greenland shark. These sharks grow at an astonishingly slow rate of less than 1 centimeter per year, and they don't even reach sexual maturity until they're roughly 150 years old. In a groundbreaking 2016 study, scientists used radiocarbon dating on the proteins in the eye lenses of Greenland sharks to estimate their ages. And the results stunned the scientific community. One female shark was estimated to be approximately 392 years old, with a possible range extending up to 512 years. That means some Greenland sharks alive in our oceans today were already swimming before Isaac Newton was born, before the United States existed as a nation, and before the light bulb, the car, or the airplane had ever been invented. This officially makes the Greenland shark the longest living vertebrate species known to science. Number 1. Glass sponge. And now, the oldest known living animal ever discovered on Earth. Deep in the frigid, pitch-black waters of the Antarctic and East China Sea, scientists have identified colonies of glass sponges believed to be over 10,000 years old, with some estimates suggesting certain individuals could be as old as 15,000 years. Let that sink in for a moment. This creature was already alive before the invention of writing. Before the construction of the Egyptian pyramids. Before humans had developed agriculture or built the first permanent settlements. It has existed since before recorded human history even began. Glass sponges have no brain, no eyes, no heart, and barely move at all throughout their entire existence. They survive by filtering microscopic particles from the surrounding water, growing at an incredibly slow rate of just a few millimeters per year in the cold, stable, nutrient-poor environment of the deep ocean. Their silica-based skeletal structure is remarkably resilient, allowing them to persist for thousands upon thousands of years with almost no environmental disruption. In a very real sense, this unassuming, brainless creature has quietly outlived the entire span of human civilization. From a jellyfish that defeats death itself, to a sponge that predates written history, these 10 animals are living proof that nature operates on a timescale far beyond anything we can truly comprehend. Which one shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey through deep time, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because we've got more incredible top 10 videos like this one coming very soon.